All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Money Talk, guys. I hope you guys are in for quite a treat today. It's going to be an incredible Money Talk because today we're going to talk about emergency funds. And as you can hear before, we've been telling you guys, who what? You got to save that money. You understand? You got to find ways to save that money. Are you saving money? Are you living on a budget? What are you doing to win the money game right now? Right? So today we're going to talk about that emergency fund. I know this week we've been talking about the financial foundation, right? We've been talking about how to put together protection. We talked about how to manage our debt and eliminate them. And today we're talking about emergency fund. How to create that emergency fund. What are the things that we must do in order to create that emergency fund? Well, it's simple, guys. Creating an emergency fund is so simple, it's so easy, it is so doable, and it's fast to learn it. But it requires you to truly understand the nature of what it really means to save and create that emergency fund. All right. So do you know how to do this? Do you know why you need to do this? Do you understand why you must have an emergency fund? Right? So let's talk about why. Let's talk about the why to having an emergency fund. Well, let's think about this. You must have 3 to 6 months, right? This is at least a minimum of 3 to 6 months. All right? 3 to 6 months of your money. All right? 3 to 6 months of your money saved up. Because if God forbid something happens, right? God forbid something happens, like if you lose your job or something happened with your business or something happened with if you have an emergency fund or emergency to making a repair on your house, your car, your washer broke, things like that. That's why they say you got to have 3 to 6 months, right? But do you have 3 to 6 months right now of your money put to the side, right? Do you have that? So if emergency happened right now, what is it that you most likely would use for your emergency fund? I know what most people have been using. They've been using their credit cards. That's why they go back in debt. Okay? That's why they go back in debt. And because they go back in debt, now they don't have anything. They don't have anything put to the side. Right? These are the things that we got to really truly understand. So creating this emergency fund is extremely easy. It is so easy. So here's how I go. You got to get to this concept, this mindset. See, everything starts with your mindset. Change the mind, it will change your outcome. Change your mind, it will change your outcome. Once you change your mind, it changes the outcome. So it's a decision you got to make. Here's 2 decisions that you got to make. You ready? In order to create your emergency fund, in order to change everything about you, number one, you got to change your mindset and start paying yourself first. Yep. You got to pay yourself first. That's the first thing you got to start doing if you want to create some emergency fund. Pay yourself first. All right? Pay yourself first. Can you pay yourself, 5 to 10%, 15% or more? Right? Can you do that? Can you pay yourself first? How about this one? Right? How about this one? Can you buy only what you need? Can you buy only what you need? Right? Because if you can do that, that's now you're getting closer. You're getting closer to being on a budget. Right? But here's the thing. I know what you're thinking right now. Well, Keon, how do I know how much can I spend? And how do I know how much should I pay myself in order to create an emergency fund from out of what I'm paying myself first? Yeah, you're right. So what is required of you in order for you to hit this goal is to live on a budget. So here's the thing. Budgeting. Budgeting is the secret to this. It is budgeting, guys. Budgeting has always been the secret. It's always been that hidden secret in order for you to create an emergency fund, in order for you to win the money game, in order for you to start saving a lot of money. That's always been the secret. How do you live on a budget? And living on a budget requires you to do two things. Number one, write this down. Number one, you must know what is your net pay. Okay, you must know what is your net pay. That's the first thing. You got to know what is your net pay. Okay. Number two, after you know your net pay, you must also know what is your monthly bills amount every month. You got to know what is your total monthly bills, right? Once you know that, you're halfway there already. You got to know those two things. So now, once you know those two things, I want you to draw 4 boxes. Okay, I want you to draw 4 boxes. Okay, 4 boxes. And in the top left box, okay, in the top left box, we're gonna call that box your rules box. Okay, that's the rules box. You got to know the rules now, and it's important for you to know the rules. So the rules, okay, requires you to do what? The rule says 50% of your income should go towards your bills. 20% of your income should go towards your savings, and then 30% of your income should go towards the spending column. Right? That's what the average person should look like, right? But here's what many of us find out. Even with this formula, it is just a guide. It is just a guide. So now, what is the formula itself that you got to use to find the money for each criteria? Meaning, like for the bills money, the savings money, the spending money. How do you find it? Number one, you got to take the net pay times it by whatever percentage, either the 50% for the bills, 20% for the savings, 30% for the spending, and that will equal the money for each of them. Okay, that's how you find that. Now, after you know the rules, let's start applying some of the rules inside of the boxes now. Now we're gonna move over to the top right box. That's the bills box, right? That's the bills box. So in order for you to find the money for each the bills box, now you're gonna take net pay times it by 0.50, that equal money for the bills money. Okay, that's how you find that out. Then let's come down to the bottom left box. This is the savings box. Once again, you're going to take net pay times that by 0.20, that equals savings money. Okay, and then the bottom right box, that's the spending box. You're going to take net pay times 0.30 equal spending money. Okay, so now you have all the box and the formula on the table. You got to fill in the blank. So let's use an example. Okay, let's use an example. Now that you fill it out on your paper right now, you got your paper filled in. Let's use an example. Let's use an example that you have a net pay of $3,000 coming in as a monthly net pay. Okay, and let's say that you have a monthly bill amount of $2,400. Okay, so your monthly bill is about $2,400. So in the bills box, you're gonna put right next to bills $2,400. The goal is to find the money to pay the bills. Right? You got to find the money to pay the bills and see how much can you save and spend at the same time. Okay. So now let's apply the formula now. $3,000 is the net pay. You're gonna put 3,000. You're gonna times it by 0.50, and that gives you $1,500. So right there and then you realize, I only got $1,500. That's not enough to pay the bills of $2,400. So what you do, you don't stop and like, oh my God, this, you start going into panic mode. No. What I want you to realize is that 95% of Americans, you hear what I'm saying to you? 95% of Americans cannot pay their total monthly bills with 50% of their income. You understand? Now, if you're one of those 5 percenters that can pay their monthly bills with half of their income, just know that you're part of an elite group. All right, just know that you're part of a 5 percenters. Okay, but if you're one of the 95 percenters, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Okay, just know 95% of Americans cannot do that. Now, come down to the savings box. Once again, you're going to apply that net pay. $3,000 times that by 0.20, that equals $600. Okay, $600. And the spending box, you're going to apply that $3,000 net pay times it by 0.30, and that equals $900. $900. So now, what's the purpose of doing it this way? Why should we do our budgeting formula this way? It's because at this moment now you see where all the money is. You see where all the money is. You see how much money is in the bills box. You see how much money is in the savings box, and you see how much money is in your spending box. Because now you have to make a very important decision. A very important decision. And the decision that you're going to make now determines how to build your wealth. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is this. Where should this person, okay, where should this person take the money from in order to pay their bills? Should they take it from the savings box, or should they take it from the spending box, right? This is the questions that many of you got to ask yourself when you're doing your budgeting formula. Where are you going to take the money from? Right? Where are you going to take the money from? Should you take the money from your spending box, or should you take your money from the savings box? Right? Because if you continue to take the money from your savings box, you're not going to have nothing saved for your retirement. So that's the reason why we got to get really good at start taking money from our, spending box. Because if you take that $900 from the spending box and apply that money, all right, you're going to apply that money to your bills money. That will give you the $2,400 to pay the bills. Okay? So now the bills is paid. The bills is paid, and you still could save $600. So one of the things that I've learned, okay, one of the things that I've learned over the years is that in order to win the money game, okay, in order to win the money game, there's two things you got to do. It's either you reduce your bills or you increase your cash flow. I'm going to say this again. In order for you to win the money game, you have to do two things. You either got to reduce your bills, your monthly bills, or increase your cash flow. There's only two things that you can do. Okay? Drop down your bills, you'll have more money to save. Or increase your cash flow if you don't want to get rid of the things that you have that you're paying on a monthly basis. There's only two things, guys. There's no easy way. There's no free lunch. There's no magic hat. There's no woof, woof, here it is. This ain't no genie in a bottle. It requires you to make a sacrifice. You got yourself in this predicament, then get yourself out of it by making a decision. Many of us go to seminars and they go to these things and they listen to all these different gurus. They listen to Dave Ramsey, Susie, whatever her name is, and all these people. And they say, oh, okay. One of these people, you got to make a decision still. You're not going to become wealthy if you didn't make a decision. You're not going to become debt-free if you didn't make a decision. So you got to make a decision. There's no miracle going to happen for you until you create the miracle. So that's the reason why you got to understand simple things like that. Because now when you look at that $600, you may say, well, Keon, am I saving the whole $600? You can if you want to. It's your choice. Or you could split that 20% into 10%, 10%. That breaks that $600 into 300, 300. Save $300 towards your retirement then. Right? Save 300. Save 300 and then split that 300 again in half, 5%, 5%. And now that's another 5% that you could put towards your emergency fund. That's 150 going into your emergency fund. And now you live on a budget of 150 every month. Right? Can you spend 5% of your income until you get to your goals? You know why many people lose the money game? Do you guys want to know why? Right? Do you want to know why many people lose the money game? And it's not just in America, I mean around the world. The number one reason why many people lose the money game is because they don't have no goals. No goals. And what are the goals am I talking about? Yeah, many people say, yeah, my goals is to retire. My goals is to this. My goals to that. Cool. That's cool. But do you have a goal to have 3 to 6 months of your income? How about 3 to 6 years of your annual income saved up for emergency? How about that? What is your savings goal? Right? Name, what's your goal? What's your saving goal for the year? What's your saving goal for the month? Right? I hear people talk about money they're going to make. Cool. How much you going to save? How much can you save a month? Right? What's your goal with that? Because I've learned that many people, they have a goal to make a certain amount, but they never set a goal to how much they're going to save amount. How much you going to save? Right? And do you save? Do you save? Do you know what's your goal to save this year? Do you know that? So how are you going to win the money game? If you're not even doing that, you already lost. I hate to be the person with bad news, but you already lost. So if you're tired of losing the money game, all you got to do is simply create a goal. Say, you know what? For the next quarter of this year, I going to save this much in the next 3 months. That's my goal. This month, I'm going to save X amount of money this month. My goal is to have this amount in my emergency funds. I'm going to live on a budget. Do many of you have a budget? What's your budget? What's your budget? How much can you spend each month? Right? Like right now for me, me and my fiance, we're on a challenge where we're trying to not spend over $200 a month. We're like, that's our budget. $200, $100 each. Right? That's our budget. We're trying to do a $200 budget thing. It's gonna be hard considering both of our lifestyle, but that's our goal. That's our goal. We're trying to have a $200 budget. Right? That means $100 for us each, right? And this is outside. So we have a goal for $200. Right? So that way we could treat ourselves with things throughout the month. Right? That's our goals. See, we have a savings goal. We have a goal that we want to save a certain amount of money a year. Right? But what's your goal? So, I'm big on that. I'm big on that. And I want you guys to really see the importance, because you probably wondering, how am I losing the money game? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Right? And it's because you didn't have a goal. They said that if you don't have something to aim at, you will always miss. If you don't have something to aim at, you will always miss. It took me a long time to figure it out for myself too. Man, I've been working out. I've been trying. How am I not losing this weight? It's because I never had a goal. I never have a weight goal. I have a weight goal of how much I want to lose, but I don't have a weight goal of how much I want to lose every month or every week. Lose 5 pounds a week. All right? Just like that. Lose my goal every month, every week should be, hey, lose 5 pounds every week. 2 pounds every week. If you just make that your goal in a month, that's 8 pounds gone. Everything got to have a goal, guys. You got to live on a goal. You got to live your life with purpose. And the same thing with your finances. How much are you going to save every week? When you do your 50, 20, 30 formula, how much are you saving every week? 20% out of each paycheck? Right? How much are you saving? Or you just spend and figure it out as you go? Don't do that anymore. That's how you're losing the money game, guys. So, I hope you guys get it. I hope you guys see how simple it is and how easy it is, because it's not hard. It is not hard. It is not complicated. It is not overthought. It's a very simple concept if you really, truly apply it. So just to give you an update, tomorrow, we're going to talk about investments. All right. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about investment so that way we can break it down some more. All right. And understand different things when it comes to investment. And just so you know, our financial literacy classes, our 4 steps to financial freedoms are every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so mark down your calendar. We also have our financial workshops. All right, we have them on the weekends now. All right, not just the weekdays anymore. We have workshops on every weekends and weekdays. Right, Monday through Friday, we have our workshops at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to get access to that, please let us know. Right, let the person know that I invited you to this call so that way you can have access to that. And we also have our 30 by 30 financial literacy campaign. That's why we're doing this. And just mark your calendar too. If you want to learn more about our national financial literacy campaign, every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m., we do our campaigner introduction overview. So that way you guys get to learn a little bit more about our campaign, right? So that's what Money Talk is all about, guys. That's what Money Talk is all about. So that way families could come and learn and get more insight, all right? So I hope you guys learned a lot. Remember, live on a budget. And living on a budget requires you to master the formula called the 50-20-30 budgeting formula. That's the formula that we broke down today. And I hope you guys learn how to do that so you can start learning not only how to pay yourself, but also how to live on a budget and also how to put together that emergency fund. Okay? You got to live on a budget. You got to know your budget. How much can you spend, right? How much can you spend? How much can you really spend? You got to know what's your really spending budget. Because if you don't know what's your real spending budget, then you're going to continue spending away. And we don't want that to happen to you. Because if you do that, you're on the verge of really losing the money game. Okay? You're going to lose the money game that way, guys. I promise you, you're going to lose the money game. And you're going to wonder and ask yourself, how did that happen? Why did that happen? Right? And we don't want you and your family to continue going down that road, because the goal is for you to walk away a winner. So if you feel like this information make you feel like a winner, comment or go in the chat room or just hit that yes button. If you're going to apply this, if you're already applying this, or if you have any questions, just comment below, right? Comment in the chat room. Hit that yes button, right? Because it's important for us to continue win the money game. All right. Always remember, you're one decision away from changing your future for the better. So always remember, the choice is always yours. All right.